Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and there are a relatively small number of spoilers, I guess just leftovers from Friday or something, and they're skipping the weekend. I don't know what went on, but we got a handful of them here. And spoiler for the spoilers, one of them's an otter, so that's awesome. But first and foremost, most importantly, who gives a crap about any of these cards? The University of Pittsburgh has just created a tested working vaccine for the coronavirus. That's getting the headline news here. That one's coming first. It worked in rats, it's going to work in humans because the delivery system is a special vaccine-specific thing called a microneedle array. You guys should look into it. But even just in mice, they were found to, with this method and this vaccine manufacturing technique, repeatedly create enough antibodies to neutralize the virus if exposed within 2 weeks of injection. And then I would assume after that as well. And then it all goes tits up because they said they're set to apply for the US FDA to investigate it ahead of a phase 1 clinical trial to start in the next, quote, few months. I've got an idea. Slap a bullshit holistic label on it, manufacture it right now, and sell it. You know the F in FDA stands for F the FDA. They move at the speed of go F yourself. I don't care if they have to go down to a secret island in the damn Caribbean, develop this, and then ship it here, bootleg, and smuggle it in. I don't give a shit. Do not go through the FDA. Oh, but food and drug safety and testing, and who gives a shit? Have you watched the news? You can make sure my Tylenol isn't made out of pure arsenic, okay? How about that? But for this, just put that shit in my bloodstream. I don't need no human tests. I'm the human test. Yes, there have been vaccine-related disasters when they didn't test them properly, like the Lyme disease one. Who cares? People are dying right now. This can't possibly be worse than that. Fucking FDA. All they're doing is going to second and third world countries and making sure it gets released there first because they don't have an FDA or give a shit or have any standards. That's nice. You know what would actually solve this problem, guys? And this is going to be probably the most controversial thing I've ever said on the channel, but too bad. As soon as a working provable vaccine hits the market, I don't care whether it's approved or not, just take the word for it, they tried it, it works. Auction off every single lot of it. But then all the rich people would just buy their way to immunity. Yeah, and then the drug makers would sit on, a fraction of $1 trillion. So Trump's like, oh, we're going to give out $2 trillion to everybody in America so that, society and the economy can continue. And rich people are like, oh, you're just going to tax me for the difference. That is literally where the money's coming from, in case you didn't follow the money. The continuation of society and the entire economy not crashing and all the businesses and property that I own not becoming worthless, well, that's not worth a 2% increase in taxes. These poor people. Yeah, that's pretty much every rich person ever that I've ever met. But if you're like, hey, how much of your fortune are you willing to pay to not die? Well, then get out the bitter paddle, bitch. And then take all that money and give it to the unemployed people right now and hospital workers and shit. I can't think of one single thing wrong with that other than poor people would not get the vaccine on time, and that's kind of inherently unfair, but it's like, oh, you can't get the vaccine, here, have a pile of money. Next best thing, stay home, sit home, never leave, order a pizza, order groceries. Avoid the world. We will literally pay you out of rich people's pockets to do so as they sit there and outbid each other for first access to the vaccine. I mean, at the end of the day, what's really wrong with that system? Better than a random lottery or just what's really going to happen, which is people just jacking those trucks and stealing them and selling them on the black market anyway. So, yeah, this vaccine works on a spike protein, which is common to all mutations of COVID-19 and, in fact, other SARS viruses. So it's a very, very, very wide vaccine, and that's the one that they tested and proved to work, only if it uses this microneedle technique to be applied. So that's good news, and I thought I'd leave with the good news because the bad news is thieving otter. Look at that little blue bastard. He's carrying vaccines right now. He just robbed the truck. Look at him. He's running away. Look at that guy right there. That's an armored truck guard. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of pissed that UW-Madison didn't come up with this because giant leaps forward in medical technology is kind of our shit in this state at that specific college. I'm sure Pittsburgh is lovely too, despite their state having the most toxic sports fans in the history of the universe. Anyway, back onto this cute little otter. This little blue bastard's a 3-cost 2/2, and whenever he deals damage to an opponent, draw a card. Now, that's hard to do with the 2/2 that's on the ground, not flying, no hexproof, no unblockable, no menace, nothing. So you might have to add something to it or just hyper-control the board and, whatever. But we've had cards like this in the past, and they are good if you can get them going. I mean, it is quite powerful to outdraw your opponent while also being able to consistently hit them. That's a bad combo for them. So, I mean, strap wings to this cute little otter. I mean, this is a mutate set. Why not? and just start blowing your opponent apart. And remember, this is in the same set as that stupid flying blue-black thing that every time it hits, it steals a card, that Spectre thing. And 3-color and 2-color, both including blue, all flyers are both existing decks right now. If you can fit a flying otter in it somehow, I mean, you have to grant it flying, you'd have to put in the Pegasus or something or some wings, but I could see that working. I think that would be worth it, just for the card advantage. And the flavor text is, you're telling me we spent a year on securing the Sanctuary against pterosaurs, rambees, and nightfangs, and we were robbed by what? Otters are the cat burglars of the sea. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. So if you want a bootleg vaccine, go find your local otter. He's probably on the street corners slinging his shit for like 10K. Next up, we got Stormwild Caprador, which is a 1/3 3-cost bird goat. It has flying, and if non-combat damage would be dealt to Stormwild Caprador, prevent that damage, and then put a 1/1 counter on it for each 1 damage prevented this way. Wow, there we go. Finally, a white card that actually plays around Red Rush. It's about damn time. Getting real sick of that Lava Spike Shock bullshit on like turn 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7 because of the Arena Shuffler. The problem is he only hits for 1 in the air for 3, so it's like, okay, you start strapping equipment to this guy, they are going to be in trouble, and now they basically have to kill him in combat, except he's flying. Now, not really, this is really an only anti-red card, you could just use a black kill spell or a white exile spell, or... Actually, I assume it wouldn't work with green force fight, because that's non-combat damage. But yeah, this could be one tough cookie. I think people are going to start dropping this into potentially like an aura dump deck, even though it doesn't have Constellation. I mean, it's still pretty damn good. Now, the other thing is, I think the whole point of this put a counter on it is not like, wow, I hope my opponent didn't read the card. No, it's you damaging it yourself with non-combat damage. So if you could ping this thing continuously for 1 damage, like once or twice a turn, oh my gosh. Next up, we've got Rooting Moloch, maybe. I love these translated ones, especially from Asian languages, then you know it's wrong. So it's a 5-cost red uncommon creature lizard. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card with a cycling ability from your graveyard. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. Okay. So not only is like, oh, I tossed it in the graveyard because I didn't need it turn 2 because it cost 8. Now late game, you can go get it back. I like that. I don't think this card is worth doing that stupid little trick for 5, being a 4/4 useless tribal, but it'd be neat. I mean, I think this isn't for constructed. This is another card that's like a nice little bonus thing for draft. Nice little mid-sized creature that does a fun trick, you know? Next up, oh, Neptune. We've got a pouncing shore shark. That artwork just screams make fun of it. So, hey, what's the only thing worse than a shark? A shark that can jump on the shore and tickle you to death. Anyway, it's a 4/3 for 5 with flash. Once again, does that mean you can mutate at instant speed? I don't know. Is it considered a creature casting? Is it an alternate cast? Is it an ability? Is it a spell? Nobody freaking knows. I'm convinced the developers don't even know. Anyway, whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Yeah, I don't blame your creature that just got bounced back to hand. I'd get out of the water too. And the shore. I would be in a helicopter, actually. So next up, we've got a card that maybe says Ominous Seas. Could really be anything once translated. And it's a 2-cost blue enchantment. And whenever you draw a card, put an Omen counter on Ominous Seas. Oh, here we go. Remove 8 Omen counters, create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token. Which, I mean, it would have said Demon Kraken if it was. So I don't think this is the Demon Kraken that we've heard about yet. It might have even been in a previous spoiler video. I wasn't paying that close of attention. But yeah, you're really playing the long game with this. Oh, no, by the way, it has cycling too if you don't feel like playing the long game with this one. But yeah, those bullshit Izzet decks that do the draw second card every turn or whatever deck, yeah, they're going to play this, and it's going to be annoying. And next we got Gran Cuerno Migratorio, or as they call it in Wisconsin, an angry Packer fan. It's actually probably Migratory Greathorn. Anyway, it's a 4-cost creature beast with Mutate 3, and whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. Hard to gauge if any of these are worth it, because you're taking, once again, 2 creature cards, making it into 1 giant target creature card that isn't even that good, and all you get out of it is, ooh, a free land. Cool. It'd be a little late game for ramp at that point, so I don't know. So the funny thing is you might think, oh, but, you know, recurring land drop trigger is cool. It's going in like a modern landfall deck or a commander landfall deck. Well, except you either are playing Mutate or you aren't. You can't just drop this in by itself. You'll never trigger it. That's the problem. So this is going to be one of the most valueless sets ever released. It either you play it or you don't. And with the amount of creature removal in standard right now, you don't. Next up, why am I even showing the card images? None of them are in English, but we've got Ikoria, I don't know. I'm just going to call it Steve again. So Steve here has 4 costs. He's a creature. He's a beast. He has Mutate, 4 with 2 hybrid, whatever. And when Steve mutates, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Well, better than the battlefield. So this is permanent, so you could theoretically go grab a land. I guess you could do something pretty messed up with a land destruction land, which is legal in standard. Can't wait for that to be a thing. And next up, we've got Footfall Crater. I am way more interested in why the land or sand or beach or whatever the hell the soil, I don't know what this is, but why is it pink? Why is it delicious strawberry colored? I kind of want to go to that beach. Anyway, it's got a giant footprint, so maybe not. But it's a 1-cost enchantment aura. You may enchant land, and it has tap, target creature gains trample and haste until end of turn, cycling 1. Wow. That's not a bad card in the average Gruul deck, mono, red, rush deck, or pretty much anything else. I mean, trample and haste, it would work better in Gruul and middle speed stuff, but it wouldn't be unheard of to play this in a red rush. I mean, it's not a creature, so it wouldn't be full true rush, but it is haste, and then okay, trample on top of it, cool, with the cycle option. So I think there's too much trample in this set already. We're going to see the return of Gruul, obviously. I mean, they already have a bunch of stuff that says cannot be countered, enters with haste or a counter. And now the whole damn deck has trample. So, this is going to be rough. Except every single damn deck that I go up against on Arena, board wipes every 3rd turn. So, maybe that'll be done on Rival. We'll see. Next up, we've got Bastion of Remembrance. Apparently they remember something, but they don't remember that they should leave this shitty plane and go somewhere else. It kind of reminds me of like human history, where like somebody was walking from somewhere at some point, stopped in some shitty desert with no resources, no farming capability, almost no wildlife and no water, and they're like, yeah, f*** it, let's stay here. Bitch, keep your ass walking. Why are you stopping in a desert? Yeah, let's set up a city here. What were you thinking? And same to these dumbasses. You constantly get attacked by 60-foot tall monsters. Maybe you should leave. I know with the new lore post-mending, it's really hard to let humans travel between planes. In fact, it's pretty much impossible. But, I mean, they just should have left this plane pre-mending. Just throwing that out there. Hire Tezzeret to build your Stargate. So when Bastions of Remembrance in Dumbassville enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Oh, that'll go up against a 12/12 beast with trample and hexproof and indestructible. And when a creature you control dies, each opponent, which they will, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Oh, good. So as you're dying, you flip them off and do next to nothing as you lose to giant creatures. I might join Vivian's side and say, screw the humans. They're just too damn stupid and too weak. I'm going to bet on the winner. I'm going with the beasts. So that's it for today's spoilers. I assume they will resume Monday, so watch for an early Monday evening video covering the day's spoilers. This set still looks like a confusing, unplayable dumpster fire, and I don't know if you noticed or not, but every single card basically costs 5 or more. Make sure you watch my last video from earlier today about why the mutate keyword actually is way more complicated than you think. I'm getting a lot of people actually in the comment section saying, oh my god, I did not realize any of this. And now that they've cured COVID-19, I think the next big blight on humanity will be this shitty set and its shitty mechanics. So thanks anyway for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.